is from the Power Threat Meaning Framework in the British Psychological Society, and it indicates that we can't escape the systems we live in. Expressions of psychological distress and deviance, whether or not they're called mental disorders, don't exist independently of social and historical contexts. And individuals unconsciously select from culturally available forms of behavior in order to express their despair. So when we're thinking about interaction processes, we always need to consider the whole system and how they're present in our relating to each other. We can't escape systems. So-called mental disorders are culture-bound. These are implications of being part of a system and raises questions about the system's health itself. Autistic people say they're not taken seriously when communicating distress or denied therapy because they are autistic. This is from Amaze in Edinburgh, the autism research charity. They also said there are many good therapists who want to get better, and those who made a real difference were those who had modern training in autism and mental health. For example, Gestalt therapy. Fritz Perls said, reality is nothing but the sum of all the awareness as you experience here and now. And this relates to Bogdashina's work on autism and spirituality, Boehm's quantum theories, and enactive theory. The Gestalt therapist is aware and adapts to the client's comfort through environment and finding and working with what Fritz Perls called their own unique contact boundaries. So autistic people say they're not taken seriously, but it doesn't have to be that way. And just to bear in mind something called alexithymia, which is difficulty understanding emotional states. This clearly adds relational complexity to the therapy and helping setting. Let's look at the autistic experience through two different lenses, one as difference and one as deficit. So on the left-hand side, autism has been compared to Gestalt perception by Olga Bogdashina. And autistic perception is a deep sensitivity to the coming into itself of form in experience. That was Professor Erin Manning. And on the other side, there's a deficit, which is a neuro-normative assumption. There are filtering problems, and autism is called a disorder. Society sees autism by default largely as deficit. And society embodies the predominant neurotype, the majority neurotype, and assumes power. Differences in autistic filtering accounts for both strengths and weaknesses of autistic perception, and often leads to disabling levels of information overload, especially in social environments. Social responsibility focuses on environmental spaces too. Autism practice is steeped in ideological assumptions, whether they are explicit or not. Dialogue practice aims to uncover hidden assumptions. If we take a deficit lens only, we end up with practices such as applied behavioral analysis and positive behavioral support, and similar practices which wrongly assume a responsibility to normalize and result in forced conformity. Etymology also plays a crucial role in our work, as language is largely neuro-normative and normalizing and deficit-focused, as we've seen. But we are all part of the neuro-diverse universe. Neurodiversity is a subset of biodiversity. All brains are unique. So we can approach the question, what is autism, from a universal perspective, as an inquiry into the word autism that incidentally comes from the Greek autos, or self.